Welcome to Ice Chat. Um, the show today. I have a special guest coming from Ipoh. Yeah, so I have a guest from Ipoh. His name is Justin. So Justin, give a big hand to Justin. Yay! Yep. Yay! Justin.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. So how are you, Justin?
I'm doing great, wonderful at this today.
Right.
It's a
Okay.
really good day.
Right. So where are you based, Justin? Can you enlighten
I'm
our audience? Where are you based?
I'm based in Ipoh currently.
Ipoh. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm based in Ipoh currently, and so this is my base where I'm starting up on my coaching career as well on this part.
All right.
So I'm very excited to be here live with you and with our friends and audience that you have,
Right.
and I'm very happy to add some value to you and also to whoever's joining us right now, actually.
Okay.
So I would
Yeah.
like to
Yeah. We
thank
have.
you for the opportunity.
Yeah. We have a few people joining now. So,
Yep.
what is it like? Um, MCO in Ipoh. Tell us.
MC and Ipoh, I think it's same all as throughout Malaysia. There's
Uh,
a lot of roadblocks, and yeah, you just stay at home. Nothing much that can be done. So it's good that this is the time. I think we can always use this time to get to improve ourselves, also to have some times to reflect as well. Yeah.
okay. Right. So in Ipoh, I mean, is it any different? Is it busy during MCO? Is it quiet? Can you tell us a bit more? How's the weather look like? No, like myself in Bangi, it's a bit hot. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
raining.
Uh-huh.
I mean, less cars, but I don't know, people in Ipoh, no, they are foodies, no? Can they stay home or not?
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge staying home in Ipoh because there's a lot of foodies, but most of the shops are closed over here. You see less movement over here as well,
Mm,
very less movements, and not many cars are on road except during recently where certain industries are being allowed to go out and work. So other than that, it's been very quiet, I would say.
right, okay.
Hmm.
So, Justin,
Yep.
um,
Mhm.
we have a topic today.
Yes.
Our topic today is keys to transforming yourself now and the next normal,
Yeah.
right? So, now we are in MCO, pandemic, COVID. Uh,
Mhm.
why do we need to transform ourselves now and the next normal? What do you mean by that? Can you share us what's your thought about
Okay.
this topic?
Okay, okay. The reason why I have this topic is that just let me give you a concept, a concept on this
Right,
or context of this more accurately.
right.
We are always demanded by ourselves or even by life itself to transform all the time. Okay, in this small short 1 hour period, I'm going to cover four keys on transforming yourself
Mm-hmm.
for the now and for the future and for the next normal. You are always demanded to transform yourself no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It's because what gets you in one stage of life will not necessarily be able to bring you to the next stage of life.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where you need to transform.
Mm-hmm.
And in short, this is what is all about. Life is about growth. If you are not growing, you are dying.
Mm-hmm.
A tree is either growing or dying. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just that you need to continuously grow. You need to continuously transform your life to be relevant to the society and also to for the people around you as well. So that is why transformation is always needed. And no matter what stage of life you are, you can always transform.
Right. I mean, in your experience, right, Justin? How
Mhm.
does someone so called find a calling to transform themselves?
Oh,
Because
yes.
because
Uh,
you see, because there are so many things on the plate. You have your
mhm.
work life, you have your personal life, and then you have no mix somewhere in between. You have a family, right? Are you a family
Mm-hmm.
man by any chance?
Yes, yes, I am a
Yes,
family.
you're
I
a
have a
family man,
family.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
when in that situation, I mean, how do we find a calling to really like, okay, I want to transform?
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever I would say in general, if wherever do you have pain points in your life,
Mm-hmm.
wherever you have something that is not going as you expected,
Mm-hmm.
that is where you require the calling for transformation comes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, in general, that is where there is a deep calling for you to transform. As we go into this later on, when we go in deeper into this, you will be able to see that it might be able to spark one or two insights inside of you that I have actually encountered this kind of situations before where I'm required to transform. You'll be able to see that. So,
Okay.
I'm really excited to share this with you.
All right.
Yeah.
So in other words, whenever you say just now, whenever we feel that uh, there's a pain point, right?
Yes.
Whenever there is a pain point in our life, then we should transform. I mean, can you share with me a little bit more and also the audience? What are the pain points that you mean actually in our life?
Okay. Do you, in any part of life, do you have any frustration that has been caused that you're not getting the results that you want?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, you want to lose. I just give you the weight example because that's the most easiest one.
Yeah.
Uh, for example, you want to lose weight, but then you are trying your best to lose weight, and that it's not happening at the rate that you want,
Uh-huh.
and you are frustrated with it.
Okay.
That is where you need to transform your thinking. You
Right.
need to transform the ideas that you have, the approaches that you have, or and even your strategies that you have to in order to get the results that you want. You need to be a different person in order to get the results that you want.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
call it the be do have formula. Who you
All
need
right.
to be in order to do the things that you have to do in order to have what you want
All right.
in life.
All right. So that's what we call pain points, is it?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So so in other words, if you the pain points in your definition is, in other words, you already set a goal, and then you didn't no, the goal didn't really follow, or rather you don't achieve much, from what you said. Then it gives you some frustration, and that's you consider pain points, right?
That is one of the pain points. There are
Pain-
many other pain points in general. There
right.
are lots of pain points.
And then that is the platform, or rather the starting point. You should make a transformation, right? Is that what you
Yes,
say?
correct. Yes, wherever you experience pain point, that is a calling for you to transform.
Right. Okay. So what are the pain point that you would say uh, incumbent, or rather for someone to make transformation? Does it
All
have to
right.
be
Do you mind? Do you mind if I share some slides
can
on
no,
this?
that'd be nice,
Yeah.
that'd be nice,
All right.
yeah, show us.
Okay. All right. So let's just get right into it. So let's go to the basic question that everybody asks me
Right.
on why do you need? Are you able to see some things?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm looking at your slide now.
all right. Okay. So why do people need to transform their lives?
Mm-hmm.
It comes. Have you ever, Kairon?
Yeah.
Let's be realistic. Have you ever encountered this message before in your phones or in your devices or in any device that you use? A new version of software is here.
I thought it's my error on my screen.
That's a nice one.
I thought,
But have you ever encountered this before?
yeah,
Something,
yeah,
some sort of this message.
yes, I got it yesterday.
Why do you? Yeah. Why do you think that this new version is required?
Well, there's bugs in the previous one.
Yeah.
There are
There's
bugs,
bugs in the previous one. In other words, there is something to improve in the previous one.
and that's why we need a
That
debugger like you. Yeah.
there's something that needs to be improved or something that can be done better.
Right,
Same
right.
way,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, same way, the same reason goes in life.
Right.
There's a
Okay.
new version of you all the time. There's countless opportunity for you, and life
Yeah.
presents to you, hey, there's a new version. Would you want to upgrade?
Right,
Would
right,
you want to download it?
right.
So
Okay,
it's
okay.
always presenting us this opportunity.
Right, right.
So now, why do people need to transform their life? You see, I always like to use this metaphor of this spaceship or
Right.
space shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, imagine a space shuttle
Mm-hmm.
that is been shooting off to orbit or to the moon,
Mm-hmm.
and if you notice that it has a fuel tanks, a detachable fuel tanks,
Mm-hmm.
and once it reach a certain height, it just drops the fuel tank away.
Mm-hmm.
And why do you think, Kyrol, that it was designed that way, that we should detach the fuel tank?
Probably he wanted to go further.
Yes. So this is where transformation is required in our life. What got you to this stage of life
Mm-hmm.
is not necessarily relevant to bring you to the next stage of life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You need to sometimes you need to let go of certain stuff and embrace new stuff, new things,
Mm-hmm.
in order to move forward in life. So
Mm-hmm.
that is where transformation is required.
Mm-hmm.
And in this current moment, in this current, I would say a crisis, if you don't mind me saying it's a crisis, what we have done before the crisis is not necessarily relevant to be done during the crisis. We cannot do the same thing in the crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And what post crisis, we cannot do the same things that we have done during the crisis as well. So this is what is the main thing, is that we need to be adaptable to change, and we need to change in order to remain relevant and also sustainable as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why people need to change. But then it comes to a question, what is the motivation factor that people need to, that is required for change, or when do people change? That's the biggest question I think you have been asking me just now. When do people change?
Yeah.
I would say, for my research, there are two main reasons why people change. One is, uh, I call it what's my yeah I call it the significant emotional event in life.
Mm.
What it means is that something really significant happened, or something that you cannot forget, or something that was painful enough that happened, and you remember and you made a decision.
Right.
I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to change. I'm going to transform. I'm going to change. Like, for example, let's take a smoking scenario. For example, you smoke for the whole life, and suddenly something happened. Bomb! You end up in the hospital, and then you stop smoking.
For a while,
Or
for a while.
for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe you can. Life demands you to change.
Right.
Okay, there are some moments where life demands you to change, and this will happen from. You will notice it. It will happen. I think it would have happened to each and every one of us watching here. Is what I call the "I told you so" moment, or
Yeah.
"kan saya dah kata."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have you
Kenapa bagi
have you
tahu kan?
experienced that, Cairo?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever experienced that, Cairo?
Oh yeah, of course.
That
We say like, kenapa bagi tahu dah, degil kan? I tell you so moment, right?
yes,
Okay.
this is where life demands you to change, where it has given you countless opportunity to change, and you don't change,
Right,
then something devastating happens, something significant happens,
right,
and then it requires you to change.
right, right.
In simple context, that is one of it. But something big really has to happen in order for you to change in life.
Yeah,
So that is what I call significant emotional event.
right,
The second thing why people change
right.
is that we are very much in control, which is known as goals. And once you have a goals in life, or a directions in life, or a purpose in life, and you let that take the bigger, you let that take the supremacy or primacy in you, on the main directions that dictates your life, or the decisions that it takes in your life, that will become the basis of transformation as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So this, I believe there are two major reasons when people change:
Yeah.
significant emotional events and
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
Now, significant emotional events is where life demands you to change,
Yeah.
or you have the options of having goals to change your life.
So
It's
between
up.
between the two,
Yep.
Justin. Sorry, I stopped you for a while. Between the two, Justin, the
Yep.
significant event in emotions in life, and
Mhm.
then goals, right? So
Yes.
from your research and your experience, which one that will drive us more in terms of transformation?
I would I would like to say, if which one would you choose?
Mm.
Would you choose, because this is a choice here. You have to make whether you want to have goals to transform your life, or whether you want to wait life to knock you with a ton of bricks, or giving you something really a hard lesson for you to change.
Mm.
So it's a decision whether we want to make ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
got to make ourselves whether we want to change because of the goals that we have, or we want to change until the circumstances push us to change. Like for example, at this current stage, I would, when I'm looking at the industries that are going online
Mm.
and are thriving, are surviving. The
Right.
industries that have started few years ago going online are thriving right now when they had the goal to go online. But industries that what I would say who are having pain points right now, are deciding to go online right now, having some tough times,
Mm.
because they need to build the systems, they need to build the backgrounds, everything that is needed to go online.
All right.
So it's either you decide on a goal and go for it, or you wait for the circumstances to come to push you to do it.
Mm. Mm. Right.
So these
Okay.
are the two main reasons I would say that when people transform in life.
Right.
And the best thing about goals is you get to decide how you want to transform. You get to design how you want to transform, who you want to be, where you want to be, and how you want to go there.
Right.
So the decision is yours.
All right.
But I would say the best choice to make is to deciding on the transformation that you have by deciding on the goals that you want to have in your life.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is it. When do people transform? But there is also a small group of people
Mm.
that doesn't transform.
Yeah.
So why do you think people don't transform their lives?
Yeah. I wonder too. No, why? I mean, maybe things have been doing well. You know,
Mm.
I mean, for example, no, for example, there's coming back to your weight loss example, right?
Mm-hmm.
To some people, you know, losing weight is not a priority because no, they say no, if you although you probably have more weight or fat, they call it. Um, but if I'm happy, why not? No, rather than I have a so-called a slimmer figure, but I'm not happy. I'm always stressed. I cannot this. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot eat this. I cannot eat that. So probably I don't need to transform. Not for someone who feel like that. And some would say that body weight is genetic. So I don't need to transform because transform take a lot of hard work, and probably that's why people don't want to transform because it's painful. And based on the two reasons you mentioned just now, they don't have both. No, they don't have the live events, emotional live events, and secondly, they don't say go. So why they don't need to transform? Is that a correct understanding? Why people don't transform?
That I would say that in a small context, a smaller context, that would say it's somewhat true.
Mm-hmm.
But I would also say that if I were to add on it, I would say that maybe there is a significant emotional event hasn't occurred yet in their life for the transformation.
Mm.
But let's come back to this. This, for my research, There are many reasons, like you said, there are many reasons why people don't transform. But here are top five reasons why people don't transform.
All
I would
right.
say the top five reasons.
All right.
Okay, so the first one is unclear expectation or intention in life. They have very unclear intentions in life. When you wake up in the morning, do you have an intention what who you want to be today, or what you want to have today, or what you want to do today? Do you have an expectation that you want to things that you want to complete today? So this is a simple thing. They have very unclear expectation and intentions in their life.
Mm.
The second reason
Yeah.
is, I call it the blame game.
Mm. The first one, hold on, Justin. With the first one, you mean that unclear expectation. For example, you wake up in the morning, you don't know what to do because you don't plan for it. Can we say that as well?
You either don't plan for it, or you are just not aware that you should have expectation and should have intentions that you want to have,
Yeah.
because this will have, when you have a goal,
Mm.
when you have some visions or a mission that you have in life, then this will indirectly direct your whole days, your whole week, your whole month, and it
Right.
will be focusing you on the things that you want to do, things that you want to have, things that you want to experience in life.
Mm.
But if you don't have that, then it will be quite hard for you to even to have an intention and expectation as well.
Right. So one is unclear expectation. In other words, just like you wake up, you go to work, you don't plan anything, so you just cruising the day,
Autopilot mode.
autopilot more, right? So that's considered unclear expectation, right? And then you
uh,
mentioned the second one, reason why people don't transform is like the blame game, right?
yeah, the
Yeah, tell
blame
us
game.
more. Blame game. What is it? Blame
Okay,
game.
so blame game is very much prominent. You always can see this, is that I cannot change because I have big bones, so I cannot change because this person never allowed me to change. I cannot do this because the economy is such. I cannot go this way because the whole world is preventing me to achieve it.
Right.
So this is the blame game, and when you blame, what exactly happens is that you are giving power to whoever you are blaming, and you are saying that, hey, you have more power over me than I have over myself. You can control my life
Right.
more than I can control myself. And I like the saying from, if you like superheroes movies, and if
Yeah.
you watch Spider-Man, there is one very important phrase that he says, that with great powers comes great responsibilities.
Right.
The opposite is also true. With great responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
you will have great powers.
Mm-hmm.
When you take full responsibility of your life,
Mm-hmm.
you will have great powers in order to direct your life as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the main things that you need to do. Stop blaming. When you blame, you're giving the power away to take control of your life,
Right.
and you giving and the responsibility is given away. So that is one second biggest reason, is that we give power away by blaming,
Right.
control
So
our lives.
So in other words, just like in our situation now in COVID, like Justin, right? So
Yeah.
so I mean, in other words, there are probably sometimes we play this blame game ourselves, right?
Yes.
Where no, because of COVID, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Is that considered a blame game as well?
I I, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, it's considered one of a blame game as well,
Right,
but
right.
it comes down to what's important to you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What's really important to you.
All right, all right,
If you continue doing this blame game, is it going to benefit you?
all right.
Is it going to help you achieve and empower you to achieve the things that you want to do, the things that you want to have, the things that you want to contribute?
Right, right.
If it's not helping, does it need time? Do you think it's time to change?
Right. In other words, the blame game makes someone feel
Weaker.
as a victim.
Yes, as
Right.
a victim, and makes you weaker.
Right. 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 Okay. Okay. Continue, Justin. Nice. I have
So,
a I have a comment. I have a comment from Melis Satich.
Yes.
Mainly Satyaj, this person say that the power is within us.
Yes. That's nice. Very
Right.
true.
Yeah, the power is within us. I mean,
Yeah.
does this reflect what you said just now? You said just now, with great power come with great responsibility, right?
But
And
with
then,
great responsibility also comes great powers.
yes, with great responsibility also come great power. In other words, when you take fuller or more responsibility for yourself, then
Yes.
you also gain a lot of power, right?
Yes, correct.
Good. Thank you, mainly Satich. All right, go ahead.
Yes.
The next one.
All right. The third thing is that why people don't transform is we are all one or two victims for this. It is called our good friend called procrastination. We procrastinate until the end
Yeah.
where there is no other choice to complete it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree. I do sometimes fall to it, but right now there is a strategy on how we do. Procrastination is very much due to due to motivations of your it, due to clarity of it. And if you have clarity in mind on what you want, then it's very easy to overcome procrastinations.
Right. But Justin, uh,
Yeah.
like procrastination, right? This is an interesting reason not to transform. But
Mm-hmm.
why do people procrastinate? The things that they want to do is so important. For example, sometimes we have assignment, we have work reports to do, right? It's so important, but we procrastinate until the next day submission or the morning to submit. Only then we do it. We stay up the night and do it, right?
Yep.
So why do people do that?
Okay, it's very in the same context, the same example I would like to say is that when you procrastinate, later on in the slides, I will share to you what actually happens that cause procrastination. But in a simple explanation, I would say that it's not painful enough for you to complete until the last moment.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't have enough. There are two motivation factors in human psychology. Is where we say pain and pleasure.
Yeah.
It's more painful enough for you to wait until the last moment and to complete it. At this moment, it's not painful enough for you to complete it. It's
Right.
more pleasurable for you to do something else.
Okay. All right.
So usually procrastination is all dependent on your state and the focus, mental focus that you have, and very much dependent on the motivation level of yourself.
All
And
right.
how do you talk to yourself is very important within procrastination. Later on I will cover on that as well.
Right. Right.
The second point.
I
Okay,
like I
what
like the explanation where you mentioned about the pain and pleasure concept. Yeah, where we procrastinate because it is more pleasurable for us to do other things at that time. So
yes.
we opt out the work or whatever goals that we supposed to do. So
Hmm.
we do something more pleasurable, right? That's
Yes.
one. I think there's a.
And sometimes,
Hmm.
yeah, and sometimes what causes procrastination is also this self-negotiation and self-talk.
Okay.
Now, Khairul, have you ever decided to go for a jog and then last minute negotiated yourself out of not going for it?
Oh yeah, all the
That
time.
is that is self-negotiation. We negotiate ourselves completing the things that we want to do.
Uh-huh.
We constantly do it. We go to gym and then we say, I want to do 5 sets before going to the gym, and then after doing 1 set, cukup lah.
Right.
We negotiate with ourselves all the time. And
Right.
we should stop this. This is why people cannot transform. We negotiate with ourselves, we self-talk, we have this negative voice within in ourselves that say we cannot do it, we cannot achieve it. And this self-talk has to be eliminated, reduced, or best is to be eliminated. There's an African proverb that says that when there is no enemy within, the enemy out there can do no harm. What it means is that when there is no enemy within, your self-talks, your self-negotiation with yourself, and it's only yourself is pushing yourself to achieve it. You no enemy outside there can do harm against you. So this is also one of the important reasons that people don't transform is you constantly negotiate with yourself.
Right. I mean, I like the part where you pick on me that I don't jog and I talk myself out of it. But I also like to share with you and also the rest. And there are
Mhm.
moments where I did that, and I forced myself. I
Mhm.
still went for jogging, and you know what happened? I told myself, look, actually, it's not bad after all. I want to do this again. You know. So
Mhm.
so in other words, sometimes your yourself. I mean, you will negotiate with yourself, the self talk.
Yeah.
For me, when that happened, I mean, as I get older, I realize that I need to overcome the situation, right? And
Mhm.
I know maybe that between that the split seconds, the emotional event out of me saying that, you know what, if you don't jog again, this is your 2 weeks in a row, you talk yourself out of this, right? So
Yep.
probably it's the time that you really need to do it. So
Yes.
in other words, that self talk is like a common thing that come. I mean, to me and to some people, but
Yes.
you can actually have the power to overcome it. I mean, it comes
Yes.
within you as well, like you said just now, right?
Yeah, it comes within you. You take responsibility of it, and you are being aware of it as well. That
Right,
actually,
right,
yeah.
right. Okay,
So
Justin, the next one.
yes. So the next one is lack of enthusiasm and inspiration. So what I mean by lack of enthusiasm and inspiration is that they don't allow themselves to feel happy. They don't allow themselves to feel inspired. They don't allow themselves to feel lifted up by the graces in life that is been offered. What, in other words, what it means is that I would say in Malaysian language is known as okay lah attitude.
Okay.
How's life?
Attitude, huh?
Okay lah. How's work? Okay lah.
Right, right,
How's everything going on? Okay lah.
right, right.
You, the words that you use describe the emotional state that you have, and when you use this okay lah attitude, it's you are reducing yourself to feel inspired. You're reducing yourself to feel enthusiasm. And this okay lah attitude is you do not know what is costing you in your life until you look 5 years, 6 years behind. It's like, wait, I've been going on with this same attitude, and
Mm.
what do I need to do? Why I cannot transform? You ask yourself, and then this is just this simple thing,
Right,
changing this vocabulary of okay lah
right,
to
right,
something really inspired that will really change your life as well.
right.
So these are the five main reasons from my point of view why people don't change is
Yeah.
they have unclear expectation, they have blame game, they constantly procrastinate because of negative self-talk, and they constantly negotiate with themselves, and also they don't allow themselves to feel inspired or even feel the enthusiasm within themselves as
Mm,
well.
mm.
Okay, so
So
I got a bit more. Maybe I can just cover up the four keys
just
right now.
just just before that, Justin, I want to ask,
Yep.
in that five, right, 1 to 5, right? Is that in terms of priority or is just a listing of it?
It's not in terms of priority, it's just the listing of it actually.
Okay, all right, cool.
So this I would say the top five, and
Top five,
anyone can fall for this top five anytime. I
right?
would say these
And
are the
everyone
common
has a
top five.
different intensity for each, right?
Yes, they have a
Yeah.
different intensity of it. They have a different comfort zone for it. They prefer this compared to the others as well.
Yeah,
This top
yeah.
five.
In other words, also for people out there, no, I think I like the five part that Justin mentioned just now. For example, probably for me, for example, right, I have during this MCO, I have maybe number one, unclear expectation of my fitness goal, maybe, right, but probably I have more positive thought in
Mm-hmm.
terms of doing something else, you know.
Yep.
I don't blame the pandemic or COVID of the current situation. I have a lot more enthusiasm now. So in other words, all of us will have like a little bit of here and there of things, and it's not like, you know, if you don't have all five means you don't have to transform. No, it's not like that, right?
No, it's not like that. This I would say these are in the common reasons people give. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah.
when they don't transform.
Yeah.
Why they cannot transform, I would say.
Yeah. But of course, if you don't have all of them, then you have to check yourself out, lah, I guess. All right, go ahead,
You
Justin. The
can
next
say
one.
that too.
The
You
next
can
one.
contact me.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have covered all of that. Now let me give you 4 keys of transforming your life.
All
Okay,
right.
4 keys that in any stage of any stage of life or anywhere you want, we can go through these 4 keys, and we can also be able to have some clarity on what we need to do to transform our life. The first and most important thing is knowing your outcome. What do you want? No, what do you want in your personal finance? What do you want in your career? What do you want in your mental health? What do you want physically? What do you want family? What do you want in your lifestyle? What do you want in your spiritual? So you need to know what exactly do you want in life or out of life, or what do you want to contribute to the people around you, what you want to give to this world as well. You need to really know what do you want. In other words, I would say that vision can be known as ambitions. We always ask the kids, our kids, or I used to be asked, what's your ambition? What's your ambition? But
Yeah.
as we grow older, we forget our ambition.
Mm.
And our ambition will always change as we move in different stage of life, because we got new insights, we got new knowledge, we got
Yeah.
new desires. But what is your ambitions in life? What is your heart's desires in life? You should really know it, and you should write it down. And the other thing is that your mission or vision or your ambition should not bow down to your limited human strength.
Should not. Can you repeat it again? Should not bow down.
Your vision or mission should not bow down to your limited human strength.
Right. What
You
do you
should
mean?
rise up for that. You should rise up to your mission, to your ambition, to your visions.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
So
Can
this
you
is one of
maybe
the key. When you
give an example of that, please? Ambition, mission, and vision.
okay, it's just different words, but it's explaining the certain things, the same thing. Sorry,
Right.
it's like if you want to if you want something in life that you never had before,
Mm.
you must be willing to do the things that you have never done.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want 1 million Facebook followers, or if you want to earn 1 million, you need to be willing to do something that you've never done before.
Okay.
So in that words is that you need to rise up to that to that vision. You need to rise up to that ambition. You need to learn new skills. You need to learn new beliefs, adapt new beliefs in order to achieve these kinds of things, to do this kind of things that you want. So you shouldn't limit yourself by the limitations that you have right now.
All right.
But in order, you need to rise up to that challenge, rise up to that ambition. So this is key number 1, knowing your vision or knowing your outcome, or even simple as knowing the ambitions that you want. So that's first key. Now, the second key, you need to gain control. Gain control of 3 things. So, Khairul, can you just have a look at this?
Yeah.
Are you able to read this?
Okay. Yes. Good times are here. Is it? Is it the one? Is it right?
Actually, no. This it's not good times are here.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
So,
Yeah.
so the things that I want to say is you need to gain control of your habits.
Right.
So now, what are habits? What's the first thing you do when you wake up, Khairul?
First
Since
thing I
there's
do.
no audience over here, what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Yeah, I check my phone.
Check your phone.
Yeah.
Yes. Some people have a coffee. Some people check their phone. So these are habits.
Right.
Okay. Habits are unconscious behavior patterns.
Right.
And why habits is important is because success lies in the things you do. Success lies when you do things without thinking. It lies within the habit. Successful people have habits.
Right.
Habits that are productive.
People have successful habits, I guess, right?
Yes, performing habits that leads you to where you want to go. Like, for example, they have habits in in their finance. They have habits in their daily life. If you notice the bodybuilders, the athletes, they have a habit of always exercising every day. They have an exercising habit. They have a routine of exercising.
Right.
So what are your habits right now?
Right.
The very famous book, I think it was known by Stephen R. Covey, the seven Habits of Highly Effective People.
Right.
Okay, he said that first you make your habits and then the habit makes you.
Right.
So now, what are the habits right now that made you who you are right now?
Right.
What are your mental thoughts? What are your mental habits that you have that has been repeatedly that you've been asking yourself? Or what are your habits that you need to let that are brought you to this stage of life?
Mm.
And would this habit bring you to the next stage of life, wherever you want to go?
Mm.
We got to really gain control of our habits.
Mm.
Do you have a habit of compulsively checking your phones,
Right.
even though there's no notification?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is it. This is what we need to gain control of our habits.
Mm.
Our habits in all areas of our life. Habits in our finance. Are you spending the money first and then saving the rest, or saving first
Mm.
and then spending the rest?
Right.
Your financial habits.
Which one is the right one, Justin?
I would say the best one is to save. Save 10-15% of your pay and then spend the rest.
Okay, so you must
That's
the better
yeah.
habit is to save first,
Yes.
then only okay. Mm.
Yeah. Pay yourself first, of course. Then these are the habits. We want to be aware of our habits and take control of our habits.
Right.
Habits from how we talk to people,
Mm.
our habits on how emotional patterns that we have. The
Right.
third thing to gain control is something I call as energy allocation.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Khairul, do you know people, or are you aware with anybody that actually work tremendously hard morning to afternoon?
Yeah.
They go all out, morning to afternoon. They go all out, getting the results, breaking the walls, just getting things done.
Right.
And then at the evening, they found themselves weak.
Mm.
Did you know anybody, or have you ever encountered that?
Yeah. No, you're right. I'm that person. By the
This,
time 4 or 5 after the Asar prayer, I feel so tired. Then I take
yes.
a nap for a while. Are you
Mm-hmm.
talking about me, Justin?
No, no, I'm not talking about you. So what I'm trying to say is that this is what energy allocation means,
Mm.
is that we have four energy sources. I would say four energy sources.
Right.
And this is a study conducted by Dr. Jim Rowan, on the co-founder of Human Performance Institute.
Mm-hmm.
He was studying high-performing athletes
Mm-hmm.
and underperforming or low-performing athletes. Both
Right.
has similar skills, but what he found out that the high-performing athletes are able to perform in a consistent basis, but the low-performing athletes have many mistakes and errors. So he was looking at them and finding out what actually made the difference between high-performing athletes and low-performing athletes. He looked at them intently and he saw that the high-performing athletes, during break time, they actually go like in a zen-like moment. They fully disengage themselves.
Mm.
And he also inserted the heart rate monitors on the high-performing athletes and the low-performing athletes, and he found out that the heart rate of the high-performing athletes dropped down by 20 beats,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the low-performing athletes maintain the high heartbeat rate even though they are resting.
Right.
So this is what I mean, is that you need to have a recovery mechanism.
Right.
Okay, and you have these four energy sources, and these are constantly being distracted. Your mental energy is always being distracted. How much of distraction that you allow in your life that is draining your energy right now?
Mm-hmm.
And if you work constantly hard from 8 to 12 in the morning, you push yourself without any break, and you notice After break, after lunch, you are weak. You cannot focus. You
Yeah.
cannot. You indulge in food to get the energy up. You take naps to take this energy up. It's because you are drained certain part of these four energies, your mental energy.
Right.
And have you noticed where you are emotionally drained and you accidentally burst out to somebody where you don't intend to? This is where you drain the emotional battery, I would say, of yours.
Right.
and and these are also the physical energy as well. When you're physically tired, what's your recovery mechanism?
Mm.
When I talk about spiritual energy is not to being religious, but is the sense of purpose and meaning that you get connected to.
I see.
And also, yeah, the gratitude that you have that in your life, the graces that you mount.
Mm.
So you want to know how, three things you want to know: how am I using or draining the energy in these four energy sources?
Mm-hmm.
What are the signs I need to notice within myself when these energies are low?
Mm-hmm.
Is my recovery mechanism?
Right.
Three things you need to know. And this simple thing itself, once you gain control on energy allocations, you can see tremendous shift in your life. If you notice, there are people who come and dump everything, all the complaints to you,
Mm.
and after that you feel like you cannot do anything else.
Yeah, yeah. But Justin, how to
Yeah.
know when the energy is depleting?
Okay.
Oh.
For example, when
Mm.
let's take for example the mental energy.
Mm.
Okay, the simple practice that you do is that when you find yourself being distracted,
Mm.
usually you allow yourself only 60 minutes, maximum 90 minutes to do a task undisrupted, and then you take a break to allow yourself to mind flow freely, to recover yourself, to recover the focus.
Right.
Okay, so if you don't allow that and you try to push on, continuously pushing on, forcing yourself to focus, you will notice that you start making errors, you will notice start making mistakes as well.
Mm.
And you are easily distracted as well.
Right.
So everybody is a little bit different over here because our attention spans might be a little bit different,
Yeah.
but you have experience with yourself. When do you get distracted too
Mm-hmm.
much? And when do you need to take a break?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
this is
So.
the third part that you need to gain control is your energy allocation,
Mm-hmm.
and also who is draining your energy and what environment what is draining your energy and where are you allocating this, because you only have so much in a day. you
Right.
have only you only have 24 hours, and you want to use the make full use of it as well.
Right. 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 Okay.
So yeah, and then the fourth, I would say the fourth thing is you need to gain control of your environment. What I mean by gain control of the environment is that it's a simple example of an ice cube. When you put the ice cube into a glass of water,
Mm-hmm.
you notice that the ice cube will melt and cools down the water.
Yeah.
Whatever environment you are, is the environment supporting you or draining you out? Is the environment distracting you from your main goals and your targets, or to completing your task, or is the environment distracting you all the time? And human beings have the choice, okay, to select which environments we want to be.
Mm.
So, unlike a tree unlike a tree, it cannot uproot itself and say, "Hey, I want to go near to the river to plant myself there so I can get water."
Right.
But we human beings have the ability to move ourselves from one environment to another environment.
Right.
We have the ability to do that.
Right. We're not.
So we need to understand what environment I need to be in order to have the support to achieve what I want to achieve or to have what I want to have. You
Mm.
see, if you want to start climbing, no, if you want to start climbing mountains or go for a marathon,
Right.
You need to put yourself to an environment where you have a group of friends that who has the same things, or join a club that who wants to run a marathon. If you have, if you want to quit smoking, and but you have friends who are all smokers and you always hang out with them, there are most high probability that you will not be able
Yeah.
to quit smoking.
But Justin, I want to
Yeah,
ask you a controversial question a little bit.
yeah, sure.
Right. So in good times, we can do that, right? We can talk
Mm,
about environment. We can move away easily. But in during like MCO, COVID, a pandemic like this, a lot of people are under
mhm.
stress. We are limited. We are restricted, right? So
Yes,
so
correct.
does this still applicable, or if it is, how can we make things better, with all this restriction that we have?
So thank you very much for asking this question because it's very much relevant right now.
Yeah, because
And
like there's a saying, right? I mean, if you have your bills paid, if your things are easy for you, it's easy for you to make change because you could see the results. But
yeah,
now we are restricted. We cannot go out. We cannot go to this mountain. We cannot even take a breather outside. You have to stay in your
mhm,
house. And the other day I was talking to one of the guests talking about change, talking about mental illness, mental health. So things
mhm,
are stressful. So
yeah.
how can we still make something out of it, in this situation, to transform ourselves so that post MCO, we we are better. We have a newer person. We are different. Your thought,
Okay.
Justin?
Okay. So coming back to your the last question on post MCO, or how do we become back to a newer person? So it comes to this choice. During MCO, what are you doing? Are you consuming news, or are you investing yourself in reading books, or going for online courses where you use this time? Which environment are you putting yourself to?
Right.
Are you putting yourself in constantly absorbing news of COVID and indulging yourself and being fearful? Or are you putting yourself in an environment where you are learning how to invest, learning how to grow in online courses, reading books that enhance your knowledge and your ability to learn? Where are you putting your psychological environment in right now?
Right.
We are stuck in the house. Physically, we are stuck. But where are we putting our mental focus right now? Which environment are we putting our mental focus right now?
Right.
If during the MCO, we can come out a new person by using this. Of course, we are almost 30 days. But if we have started within the 30 days,
Mm.
a 30 days learning plan, do you have a deliberate 30 days learning plan for yourself?
Right. Right. But is it too late? Someone
It,
just
I
text
would,
me.
there's nothing such as too late because it's relative.
Mm.
When you have late, you are comparing it to something. What is late to?
Mm. Mm.
So your life is up to you. It's when you define it and how you define it.
Mm.
Is so you can transform right now. You can transform anytime you decide.
Right.
So it's all up to you on how you want to transform. There are always pain points. There are always I tell you so moments in life
Right.
that are giving you signals for you to transform, but it always comes up to you to take the decision
Right.
to transform your life.
Right.
So
So in other words, we can still do something. In other words, it's not too late. Okay,
mm,
the MCO is really now in more than a month already,
yeah,
and then you still can start something. I really hope this session with you, the audience can take a tips of two, have a little bit of mental focus, do some plan, and look at the environment. I think it's very key because now during the MCO, our environment is really, I wouldn't say controlling, but we are very much affected by the environment because we are always in the house, right?
yes, correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Your next part. We
All
only
right.
have another
So
7 minutes.
now just let's finally just recap
Good.
first.
All right.
So the first thing is you need to know your vision.
All right.
You need to gain control of your habits. You need to know gain control on how you allocate these energies that you have, the
Right.
mental energy, your mental energy, emotion, physical energy, and also spiritual energy as well.
Right.
And then gain control of the environment. And knowing this, whatever you have seen, what I've presented and trying to explain to you, you have the knowledge, but knowledge will not change you.
All right.
Knowledge is only potential power. Nothing will happen until you take action.
All right.
So I would say you need to take action. Know your vision. If you do not know what you want, I would say use the contrasting method. What I mean by the contrasting method, people always tell me I do not know what I want. Say, fine, tell me what you don't want. Just look it the other way around.
Right.
And then list down, then find out what you want.
Right.
Then what are your 5 daily habits that you need to cut off? Weekly or daily habits that you need to cut off? And what are the 5 habits that I need to embrace in my life? Okay. So this I would say these are the three things. Let's not go too deep. Just are the 3 things that you need to do, and you will be able to take control of your life, transform yourself as well.
All right. Okay, this I just hold on this light screen for a while. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And all right, I like the part where you mentioned that the transformation is up to you, right?
Yeah.
But for someone, for example, they just lost their work, or they just lost income, business, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and transformation is too much, for them. So what is it that we can do to help this person? Let's say, I know someone who is going through this, and that person really unable to see things beyond the what is happening now. How can someone help the other person in this situation?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yes. These are things really happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many people are going out of business, out of employment. Some people are taking a pay cut. Some
Yeah.
people. Many things happening right now.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. So I very much I can relate to this. It's a very stressful moment. I would say it's a crisis, a very difficult moment that we are going through.
Right.
But remember, is that this thing will pass.
Right.
Is right now you got to focus on how you're going to come out of this. Within this, you should have a 90-day or some plan on just going through this cycle. Okay, and like I told you, habit number 1 in the 7 habits of highly effective people is to being proactive. So you have to be first one, embrace the habit of being proactive. And habit of proactive only can happens when you take responsibility of your life. I take responsibility of this situation. So I would like to encourage anyone who is in this situation, take responsibility of this situation, take ownership. Second is begin with the end in mind. Know where you want to be at the end of this MCO. Then go all out. Just these 2 things first. Because nothing in the world is going to change in your life until you take action. Yes, things happen. We cannot control. It's easy for me to say because I'm not in that situation, but I empathize. I really do. I feel for you. But we need to take ownership, and we need to be able to take actions that no one can feed you the hunger that we have other than ourselves.
Right.
No one is going to change other than we need to take ownership, and we need to do something that to remain relevant, we need to add value to people. So what can we do for people around us? Focus on for people around us, be useful for the people around us.
Right.
That can increase our worth and our economy as well.
Right. Right. So in other words, based on what you said, Justin, uh, we could advise the other friend that's having a challenge for them to take ownership. Probably we can listen to their stories. We can give them a little bit of our lending ears. Of course, we don't do it physically because we're in MCO right now.
Yeah.
Then we probably could say that nothing changed until you take action, because this thing of situation that they are in will only prolong if they don't do anything about it, right?
Yes, because it's very easy to slip into being a victim.
Right.
It's in life. Do you want to be victim? Do you always want to be in a victim state, or do you want to take ownership and thrive in life?
Right.
There are times we fall to a victim, but we cannot remain there if you want to if to survive. We want to thrive. We want to live.
Right.
So, in order to come out from the victim, we need to take these actions that we have. We have to take ownership and have actions. Actually, it's a hard pill to swallow, but this is how it's done actually.
Right. Right. It's a bitter pill,
Yeah,
but yet there's uh, something that they need to do.
yeah,
Okay. All right, Justin. We have 1 minute. Can you maybe give us a wrap up? Right. Time flies very fast. I
yeah.
thought we just started. No. Maybe you can give parting words for our audience out there. Yeah, sorry. Before that, I have someone actually. I put up on the screen from Cynthia Pinga. No, she mentioned here. I would like to add. We can even learn new skills now, so that when this MCO is over, we have an additional skill set. Then we
Yes,
have an
correct.
option to either move forward with our new skill or go back to doing what we were. Wow, beautiful. That's
Yes,
from
correct.
Cynthia Ping. All right, thank you very much,
Yes.
Cynthia. All right, what's your thought about this, Justin?
That is exactly very true because you have this MCO period. It's a blessing in disguise. You are locked down at home and you can have the ability to use this time to learn new skills.
Okay.
You can learn tremendous amount of new skills. You are at home. You have the books that you have bought.
Mm.
Sitting down in the small library that you have, maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, you have some things that you are procrastinating to learn that
Right.
are being done there. So you can always do that. You won't come out of the MCO without a skill set by you in taking action and indulging yourself in that environment and the learning environment. So it's very true.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Cynthia Pinga, and your final words, Justin.
All right, my final words is that I wish all of y'all that you take this learning some one or two things and implement in your life. And if you like what that I've presented, please come and like our Facebook page and join High Achievers in Debugging Mind, where we have trainings every month live in that group as well. So you can always join, and every month we have a live training in that group. We have something like this, and
Mhm.
we would like to help out each other in this journey as well.
Right. Okay. So that's all. Thank you very much, Justin. I don't want to take too much of your time. And I hear from Ice Chat DTLEADERSHIP, are happy to host you again, maybe in the future.
All right.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
Justin. Have a good day. Stay safe.
All right. Bye
Bye
bye.
again to Justin, everybody. All right. Bye bye. See you again. Have a good day. Bye bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Justin Gerard from Ipoh. From Ipoh, yeah. So that's a little bit of Justin on how to transform yourself. I really like the part where that we talk about changing ourselves from inside out. Yeah, in other words, we don't just uh, go on cruising the whole the MCO 2 weeks after another 2 weeks after. Of course, it's better they tell us, okay, guys, 1 month on MCO, do whatever you want, because 2 weeks bi-weekly you kind of struggling. You try to complete the 2 weeks, then you realize, oh, there's another 2 weeks. Oh, the first 2 weeks are gone, right? But the thing is, guys, every day is precious. Every day is important to us. Stay safe, stay with your loved ones. We are doing a bit of summary of this, then we can share with all of you. To follow us, DT Leadership, Ask Chat, and on Thursday, we're going to have a session with something very unique about road safety. Road safety, I'm going to post it on DT Leadership page. Watch it, like us, follow us, so you don't miss any updates. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Bye bye. See you again. Thank you.